When I was a senior in high school, I had to pick a major to apply to colleges with, and I chose business. I grew up in a family of entrepreneurs, and it's really all I knew. So about 3 years into college, I realized that business was more of a hobby for me and an interest than it was an actual passion. And so I remember 3 years into college, I had to sit down at my childhood dinner table at my childhood home with my mom and my dad, and I had to tell them that I wanted to completely change careers. And I was terrified. I was terrified for 2 reasons. One, because I was afraid that I was going to disappoint them. And the other reason was, should they be accepting of me changing this career or doing a different career path? And should I take the necessary steps to pursue something that I wanted to pursue? I was worried that everything I did for the past 3 years, everything I studied in business, was going to go to waste. But little did I know where I would be today. We created a plan, my parents and I, at that dinner table, and this was the plan. The plan was to finish this degree in business marketing and then go back to school and pursue something that I wanted to pursue. So the same day that I graduated with a degree in business marketing is the exact same day that I signed up for a completely different career. My head was there, and my heart was here. I went to nursing school, and to get to nursing school, I had a couple different hurdles that I had to go through. I had an entirely new tuition to pay for. I had prerequisite nursing classes that I now had to take that I never took in my business degree. And I had to become competitive for nursing school programs, so I needed experience. So the grind was real. It didn't stop, but the passion was real. I went through all of the clinical rotations, all of the schooling, got my second bachelor's degree, and that was right at the height of the pandemic. This was the moment that I think I saw my business world and my nursing world unintentionally collide. When I graduated with a degree in nursing, I had to study for the board's exam. It's called the NCLEX, to get our license in nursing. I don't know about you guys, but the way that I learn best is to teach things out loud to my friends, my peers. We'd all get together and we'd teach each other things. And so when the pandemic hit, I had nobody to study with for the board's exam. And so I started to record myself talking to the wall, literally the wall in my kitchen, and I would play those videos over and over and over again to teach myself these hard topics that I was having a hard time understanding for the board's exam. At that same time, social media was growing, specifically TikTok, and I started to post these videos on social media. Video after video kept getting more and more viral, and in the comments section of these videos, people started asking if I sold the study sheets that I was teaching in the videos. And so I created an Etsy shop. I called it RNExplained, and that was the day that RNExplained was born. What I realized at that time was that I had a need, and what I didn't know and that I realized was that millions of other nursing students had the same exact need as mine. And so I found a way to take my experience and my education and blend the two to reach millions of nursing students and capitalize on what was my own personal need. When I started this Etsy shop, I told all my friends and my family, if I could just make $20 to buy Chick-fil-A, I would be happy. Soon enough, $20 became $76, which became $500, which became $12,000, and now $2 million. I heard someone go, what? Yeah, that's exactly what I say every day. Oh, thank you. Thanks. But what I learned was, at the time when I started this business, it was extremely unintentional, right? I was trying to fulfill a need of my own, and it ended up fulfilling millions of others who had the same need. But to get RNExplained from $76 to nearly $2 million last year was extremely intentional. I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard of the someday shelf before, but essentially interests come to you, right? As you walk down the street, as you're in the shower, when you talk to friends, these interests, these ideas, these passions, they come to you. When they come to you, you put them on something called the someday shelf. And you might not know that you're doing this, but we all have a someday shelf. Your interests, your ideas, your passions, they sit there. And over time, days, months, years, for me it was years, over time, these interests, these ideas, these passions will nag you and nag you and nag you until you decide to do something about them. For me, nursing and the healthcare field sat on my someday shelf for years. I mean, from high school to college to graduating until I decided to do something about it, right? And taking that idea off of my someday shelf was one of, hands down, the best choices that I could have made. So we all have a someday shelf, and I know you guys do, and you're probably thinking, what are my interests? What do I want to pursue one day? Or what do I like doing? What I would say is to take a look at your someday shelf and pick one of them, or two, or whichever one nags you for long enough, and do something about it. Because you never know if it's going to change your life like it did mine. We can open up questions.